Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts and the CNSL. Excuse me. We're in Group B in the round of 16, and this is the losers match. It's probably going to be fast and furious, as it's Absolute here in the top right against ZeLoT here in the bottom right. Obviously, ZeLoT, when you consider his style of being an aggressive Zerg, generally aggressive Zergs are favored in ZVZ, and of course he is a Zerg who has won a lot more than Absolute, has a lot more experience in competitions. So definitely expecting that victory. We'll see about it. But thank you for watching ArtosisCasts, and thank you for even clicking on a ZVZ video. I know that this is not everyone's favorite match, and every time I say it, someone's like, oh, it's pretty good sometimes. And yeah, I would agree. Sometimes it is pretty good, but certainly not all the time. The thing is, I think it's almost always like very small nuances that decide it. So I'll do my best to point some of those out. I've really been kind of focusing on that in the ZVZs lately, about how like this guy has one more drone and thus, you know, has a slight advantage, that type of thing. But in this particular game, these are very mirrored builds. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get gas right now. Yeah, there it is. And that's like, I mean, this is as mirrored as you can get. What is he going to get? Like 16 more gas, maybe, from the timing of this. Obviously, that doesn't really make a difference, or a very tiny, tiny, tiny difference, which sometimes in ZVZ can become a big difference. But I think one of the bigger changes, or bigger advantages that we have so far in this game is Absolute is scouting the correct direction with his Overlord on this 4-player map. ZeLoT's Overlord going to the middle of nowhere, going about as far away from Absolute as you can get. Of course, the second Overlord will go in this direction, his second will go in the other. Very standard stuff. So ZeLoT's going to have a little bit less information than is his opponent about what's going on. And it's actually about 30-ish gas difference. But Zergling speed gets started for ZeLoT right away. So very aggressive opener, still mining with 2 drones, which tells us that he is going to be going for a fast layer to follow this up. This is layer first, probably into Zergling speed, I would imagine, for Absolute. But he with the Zergling speed is he who has a better engagement, generally. The Zerglings definitely can pair off first, and you kind of get to dictate the flow of the battle. So let's see if ZeLoT is able to utilize that quicker Ling speed. Absolute going in completely the wrong direction with his Lings. You can see them way off to the side, whereas these 6 for ZeLoT gonna attack up a ramp into 4. And obviously this closer concave does very well for Absolute. And in fact, like, it turns out to be 1 versus 1 after 6 attacked into 4. So, like, that is just simply better. You can tell how big a deal a concave like that actually does make. Now, ZeLoT coming down and seeing these 4 Lings trying to do a counterattack. Going to back up. Zergling speed done, so he's going to be able to catch them very easily for the engage. Nice micro there from ZeLoT as well. And, yeah, it looks like we are going to... Oh, I thought for sure he's going to get that drone. 1 drone almost dying, but not quite. Lings going around the middle once again. Looks like these guys both have the same idea about hiding their Ling counts through a move like that. Don't want to go under where Overlords could, in fact, be. It'd be very odd if an Overlord was there, right? Well, I say that. ZeLoT is kind of over in that area, maybe looking for the same type of move. Spires on the way for both sides. Absolute making a couple extra drones. So this is the first really big difference that we have. 2 more drones being made. So Absolute is going to have a bigger and better economy, and he's sitting in a concave. So we're going to see if this concave is going to be enough to allow that drone advantage to occur. Lines up those Lings outside as best he can. Look at this, the reverse concave. Okay, ZeLoT going to try to attack up here. Starts to break through a little bit, but definitely the concave has been good so far for Absolute. Now up 2 drones, and you're going to see that reflected in the Ling count. Literally exactly 4 more Lings than his opponent has. The drone's going to have to fight at least a little bit here. He does get 1 Ling, so maybe slight lead to Absolute. But if he starts losing a lot of drones, that's going to turn right around. Now, this might have been the mistake, right? He's making 2 mutas, which seems good, but now he has to come out and actually fight with his drones. And look at how many drones he's losing. The greediness of trying to go into mutalisks here. Well, there's Zerglings in your base, and, I mean, he is paying for it at the moment. Look at that drone count just fall down to almost nothing. 4 drones remain. The starting number, less than the starting number. And, in fact, that's going to be everything. He's got 47 minerals. GG! ZeLoT wins game 1. So going directly into game number 2 here. It's exactly mirrored builds, as you can see. 1 less drone for ZeLoT, which means he is making an extra pair of Zerglings. We'll see if that changes throughout. The Zergling's going up to hide in kind of an interesting location. This may be to block the retreat or to flank any Zerglings that come up to attack from ZeLoT. Yeah, that's absolute blocking right there. So let's see if this little trick here is going to work. Ooh, the Overlord is actually going to be able to spot that. ZeLoT not going to be caught. Very nice Overlord movement, really saving his Lings there. Zergling speed is coming on both sides. It looks like it's just slightly ahead for Absolute, so there is a possibility that finishes up and he starts to get a good engage, but already about 4 free hits there. Plus 3 hits so far for ZeLoT approximately in these fights. You know, these little things like who attacks first make a huge difference in mirrors. Now the Lings, yeah, I don't think that this is the right move from Absolute, honestly. Like, what are we trying to do against the high ground Lings? He has a vision of your Lings. Of course he's going to have the concave as you try to run up. I'm a little bit confused. It seems a bit silly. It's like, well, it's the same Lings, same amount of Lings, and he has vision and a high ground advantage, where if he hits just right, I could miss shots. Let's stop trying to do that. Absolute backing up. Spire is on the way. Spire is on the way. 2 more drones right now for Absolute. That's a pretty big difference. He's going to have to sit back very defensively based on those 2 drones. ZeLoT, on the other hand, may want to pull the trigger. Of course, like we saw in that previous game, if you attack as the Mutalisks are making, that's going to be the absolute weakest point for your opponent, right? That's the only real transition that you have in Zerg vs. Zerg. It's the one moment where you're not really making any Zerglings, and those mutas do take a while to hatch. So that is the one point where you may have that attacker's advantage and be able to close it out. So ZeLoT keeping a group of Lings here at the bottom, 8 Speedlings. A nice Congo roll here. And yeah, just 3 mutas on both sides. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to have some massive attack or anything from ZeLoT. Seems like his idea is to have a counterattack at some point with these 8 Lings, since they are hidden so well down at the bottom. You know, maybe if he sees the Lings on his side of the map, he'll take that opportunity to say, you know what, that's probably all the Lings, or almost all the Lings. My 8 should be more than anything at home. Makes me wonder if maybe you should, like, take 2 Lings and send them out and just scout with them. And just poke and be like, "Aye," and then run away. I feel like that might be able to get a mind game like what ZeLoT might be planning here. Okay, so a couple of volleys from each side. This is hilarious. That is some hilarious micro, and I think ZeLoT actually comes out on top there, and we're closer to his base. So he's going to get a few moving shots. 3 versus 3. And they are just diving on it right now. Oh, this Muta had 1 more hit in it. Crazy, crazy. The 2 Scourge come up, and that could have been a game changer there. That Overlord with 1 shot left. Ooh, the moving shot with 1 Muta against 2, but he has his Scourge companions. All right, connects with 1, kills the very damaged one. The other one does get picked off, so he is going to turn around. You have this hatchery going up at the natural for Absolute. That definitely is going to be something that should spur on ZeLoT to get an attack off, right? Like, you can't let your opponent get that expansion up when you've done basically the same builds, especially when you were down a couple of drones for a while. Of course, those 2 drones now being turned into the hatchery and the extractor. But what Absolute is going to be looking for is filling up that extractor with drones and just going crazy on Scourge, right? If you get enough Scourge there, you're going to be able to just overwhelm your opponent, and that's all you're going to be able to afford anyways, because if he puts 3 on gas, he's literally going to have 3 mining minerals, which is going to give you very, very little. All right, ZeLoT continuing to produce. Sees the Lings come in, and see, as soon as he sees those Lings, his Lings getting into position, maybe for an attack. Muta's going to go towards that main base. Let's see. It should draw these Mutas to the north to defend. And then maybe his Ling attack can attack in, but it would be 8 against 7 based on the numbers he had out there. Gets a single drone and gonna try to get out. Almost. Absolute so close to hitting the moving shot there. Could have been a disaster for ZeLoT. All right. Decent Scourge connection there. And Absolute microing his best. Ling's getting in and dealing some extra damage there. Nice target on the Scourge. Some more Scourge coming in here for ZeLoT. He actually has a lot of minerals right now, killing almost all of the drones. And in fact, he is going to drop to 1 drone here with 1 making. Okay, well, I guess that actually is the only drone. 3 minerals remain. It looks like this game is going to end the same as the last one. No drones left. What are you going to do? You can't produce anything else. That attacker's advantage really showing itself perfectly with ZeLoT's games here against Absolute. GG, and ZeLoT goes to the final match.